Nickelodeon, mainly known as Pinwheel TV in 1977 for Universal Relativity Media, and MCA Records, before Paramount Gulf Western, Viacom Presentation, Music Television, and CBS Television Presentation in 1982, later 1984, a channel that was once a major powerhouse for children's programming, has unfortunately fell to the wayside. It is a damn shame really, since Nick was an unstoppable force in the 1980s and 1990s with great lit action shows, original sketch comedy shows, and of course their iconic Nicktoons, or officially known as Nickelodeon Toonstill in the United Kingdom, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Australia. However, the common question many fans have is, when did Nickelodeon go downhill? Was it in 1999 with the debut of Steven Hillenburg's SpongeBob SquarePants? The dawn of the new millennium? When the 1990s influence ended in 2004? Nick dropping its slime logo in 2009? Well, before I give you my opinion, I actually think all of the above points, which seem to be the most common cutoff points, to be pretty accurate and understandable places to look into. However, I personally do not think the changes at Nickelodeon changed overnight, as some may suggest. It has been a long process. So we are officially going to give you my nuanced opinion on when and how Nickelodeon started to decline. Notice self that this is our opinion, coming from someone born in the mid-1990s who grew up with Nickelodeon from the late 1990s through the mid-2000s.
Nickelodeon, or Nick for short, is a national U.S. American paid television program, media franchise, and a Western cable channel series, via television studio headquarters, factory, and research facility, which was first launched in Orlando, Florida, since Sunday, April 1st, the day and night of April Fool's Day, 1979, as it was literally the first cable channel and Western media franchise aimed for children, and various other people of all ages. It is run by the staff of Paramount Studios Hollywood, California and Paramount Theater Manhattan, New York, via Universal Studios Hollywood, later Universal Studios Orlando, through its network's divisions Kids and Family Group. The channel is primarily aimed at children aged 2 to 17 years old, along with a broader family audience through its program blocks.
The cable, and sometimes converter channel has began its life as a test broadcast on Thursday, December 1, 1977, as part of QUBE, an early cable television system broadcast locally in Columbus, Ohio. The channel, now named Nickelodeon, launched to a new countrywide audience on April Fool's Day, 1979, with Pinwheel as its inaugural program. The network was initially commercial-free and remained without advertising until 1984.
Throughout history, Nickelodeon has introduced several sister channels and programming blocks. Nick Jr. is a preschool morning block, launched on Monday, January 4th, 1988. Nicktoons TV, based on the flagship brand, launched as a separate sister channel in 2002. In 1999, the same year SpongeBob SquarePants was ever released to the public, Nickelodeon partnered with a children's television workshop, later known in 1998 and 2000 to the present timeline as Sesame Workshop, to create Noggin, not to be confused with the same name by the BBC channel on the Central Independent Television Group, used for educational source material in the UK, Scotland, Ireland, and Australia, an educational brand consisting of a cable channel and an interactive website. Two blocks aimed at a teenage audience, Teenage Nickelodeon and The End Watershed, were merged into a standalone channel, Teen Nick, since 2009.
As of September 2018, the channel is available to about 167,000 households in the United States of America.
So, what the hell happened to that media franchise, you may ask?
Number 1. It got its start in children's programming, focusing mainly on educational shows. The channel changes its name from Pinwheel to Nickelodeon. It still consists mostly of educational programming, but also saw the debut of the channel's first major hit, You Can't Do That, on television.
Number 2. Nick establishes its classic orange slime logo, its classic Dawa Bear bumpers, Nick at Night, opening of Nickelodeon Studios. and the start of the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards along with game shows like Double Dare.
Number 3. Nickelodeon shows the 3 original Nicktoons. For example with the Rugrats, Doug, although it was part of the Walt Disney Company, the Ren and Stimpy Show, and the rest is history. All live-action shows like Clarissa Explains It All, and the Pete and Pete Show. All of the game shows like The Legends of the Hidden Temple, and Nickelodeon Guts. And finally, the sketch comedy shows like All That, plus their spin-offs like The Keenan and Kel Show, and The Amanda Bynes Show. The Roundhouse also broke major grounds within the network. Overall, for classic Nick fans, this was the undisputed golden age when Nick's variety was on point and able to attract fans from all generations.
Number 4. SpongeBob SquarePants debuts and becomes the most popular Nicktoons on the network with the 1990s Nicktoons, like Hey Arnold, Cat Dog, Rocko's Modern Life, Real Monsters, The Ren and Stimpy Show, The Angry Beavers, The Inside Out Boy, and Copland, etc. Animation simultaneously continuing their original runs, with a heavy emphasis on classic supertunes like Rocket Power and The Wild Thornberrys. Live-action shows are mixed in quality with shows such as Cousin Skeeter which kinda sucked to shows like The Amanda Show which kicked ass, game shows like Slime Time with and continued success of the 1990s, and newer early 2000s Nicktoons that helped Nickelodeon continue to have success in the new millennium. Although too many 1990s fans, this was when the network was starting to decline, and although I don't think the network was necessarily bad during this period, I do agree that Nick's shift and focus to animated films did signal things to come in the future.
Number 5. Nickelodeon's decline in the mid-late 2000s becomes very noticeable, although it debatably started in the mid-late 1990s with Nick starting to become more corporate. The 1990s Nicktoons are officially taken off the air, be it reruns or new episodes of said shows. SpongeBob starts to dip in quality after the first movie since 2004, despite the fact that this is either for the better or the worse of Nick's success with SpongeBob continuing, and when they unfortunately started to massively milk SpongeBob dry. Live-action shows in this era were mixed overall, ranging from good ones, like Daniel Schneider's Drake and Josh, and Scott Fellow's Ned's Declassified, to piss-poor tweeny bopper trash like the Naked Brothers Band, and Big Time Rush. Similarity and credit to the One Direction group, they're diamonds in this period though, like Avatar: The Last Airbender, and Danny Phantom, but even great Nicktoons like those couldn't save its dip in quality.
And finally, number 6, basically if it wasn't the generic tweeny bopper shows, garbage Nicktoons, and the lack of variety that killed off Nick2U in the late 2000s, it was for people who have pretty high tolerance. Only when they officially sold out and abandoned their classic orange slime logo, to the generic /tweeny bopper /Disney Channel wannabe, plus Jetix logo, because of Nicktoons laser awesome that we already have seen today. Since then the network has been in a dark age. However, hopefully they see the errors of their ways, change for the better.
And the reasons why Nickelodeon is going downhill, and Dora the Explorer got cancelled from the media, as well as off the air in the late 2010s as the early 2020s because of SpongeBob SquarePants, Christopher Savino's The Loud House, the overhyped Keith Chapman's PAW Patrol franchise, the infamous Peppa Pig franchise. Notice self that there was a US and Canadian English dub on the 2005 Cartoon Network's Tickle University. Yeah, we had to say and mention that. Before the program block was lost forever from cancellation since 2007, but that's not the point, nor the topic. All popular South Korean kids media, recently the UK and all European kids media, plus Australian and South African kids media, via Canadian kids media, of any other foreign media besides Japanese anime media that came to the West in first. And yes, when we mention South Korean kids media, this includes PinkFong's Baby Shark song, not just the PinkFong mascot himself.
And if you're a person in Orlando, Florida, and you think about making a petition to bring back content, as well as cancel SpongeBob SquarePants, The Loud House, PAW Patrol, or some media like that, then you are sadly mistaken to do so.
even if you have an arm.
Listen, if you do not like the modern franchise, and only care about the classical, mainly the 1980s version, via Pinwheel on the QUBE franchise in 1977, then you should have said so. Isn't that simple?
Look, we understand the fact that your most favorite cable channel made for children is going downhill nowadays, and we officially 100% agree on that.
But it is the best that we should face it immediately, and besides, the whole entire world does not revolve around you.
Do we make ourselves clear?
And that is literally it for the 60-second commentary blog.
We hope you enjoyed this video, and we expect this daybreak to feel better soon, especially at nightfall.